Morning, everybody. Great to be back. Good to see you all. Well, I've missed you so much. So 14th of July, it's Bastille Day. It's La Fête Nationale here in Touchon. So if you're with me this morning, let's all put up some fireworks on the screen. So any fireworks, let's get some emoji fireworks going for the 14th of July, because in actual fact, not much happens in Touchon for the 14th of July. I tried to find something. I asked Jean-Marc and I asked Roger as well, Jean-Marc's dad, and basically 14th of July in Touchon sort of means fireworks, feu d'artifice. So feu d'artifice in Touchon, probably not this evening though, it's a bit windy, and obviously with restrictions as well, probably no fireworks. And Roger remembers walking through the village when he was younger with fireworks, but not fireworks as we know them now. They were sort of homemade bombs, from what I can understand, made with sulfur and chloride. I don't know if anybody can confirm that. Sulfur, chloride, bombs. They were the original fireworks here in Touchon, and the 14th of July there'd be a procession through the village with people sort of throwing their homemade bombs in the streets. So here we are. Let's just locate ourselves. Over here we can just pick out, oh, thanks for all of those fireworks. Boom, boom, boom. Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you very much. Just right in the background, you can see the foothills of the Pyrenees and the Canigou over here. So that's the Roussillon. So the Roussillon to my right. Come round. We can see the village of Paziol in the foreground and the Tauteval Tower just on the little hill behind that. And again, Perpignan, Collioure, Banyuls, the beaches of the Roussillon behind. We come round, we've got the Rocher de Vingros and the plain here. So here you can see the plain between Paziol, and come round until we see the village of Touchon. There's a big dark cloud over it, but the village of Touchon just snuggling down there. Beyond that, here is the village, the town of Narbonne and the rest of the Languedoc. Well, thanks for all those fireworks. Hi, Mum and Dad in Ashby de la Zouche. I think Jenny might be there as well, my sister too. So hi all of you if you're listening. And then turning this way, so I have the Tauche Mountain behind me. I'm actually just at the bottom of the Tauche Mountain, and this is the Carcassonne direction. Oh, Dan, you're meant to be in Carcassonne today. Oh no. Oh well, you're almost there. You're an hour and a quarter from Carcassonne in this direction here. And for those of you who have got the tea towels out, let's go and have a look where we are on the tea towel. Now, if anybody I know Irene in Scotland hasn't received hers yet. Anybody else who hasn't received their tea towel who ordered it, just let me know. Send me a direct message. So here we are on the tea towel. And those of you with the tea towels out, who's got the tea towel? Tuile de Paziol, right? We're in La Caune. So today we are in La Caune vineyard here. You see, I've got my cake and I'm going to eat it because it's the 14th of July. And this is actually Marie Antoinette, when she said, let them eat cake, she was actually referring to a brioche. And today the baker in Touchon has made a brioche. So Jean-Marc bought me one this morning, yum yum. So La Caune, here, SYRAH. So let's get off and go and have a look at the SYRAH. So much has been happening in the 10 days that I've been off, and the grapes are coming along nicely. Here's some wild fennel just growing up here in the vineyard. Smells delicious, absolutely delicious. And the wild boar fence, so these are all up and on. Nikki, the fences are on now. So the electric fences, the wild boar have already got into some of our vineyards. No major damage yet, but definitely time to get those fences working. You can see the stones here, so we're limestone soil. These are lumps of limestone that have actually been taken out of the vineyard to work the vineyard, and then it's sort of clay, but it's a fantastic soil for drainage, so really well drained soil. I think let's go up here. So this is lovely little sort of tier system that Jean-Marc built for drainage. So when it does rain, it means that the water doesn't erode down the hill, but goes down here. So up we go, and we're going to go and have a look and see what's happening in the vineyards. Again, any questions, please put them in the question box at the bottom of the screen. The Q&A with the question mark on means that I get to see them. So, oh, look at that. I've missed these vineyards. I really have missed it. Wild boy. How high in California. Fantastic that you're out. Just look at this. So these are SYRAH. So SYRAH is always on wires. So it's always trellised because it's a sprawling grape variety. But why, in actual fact, why have we got SYRAH here? So why do we have SYRAH in the village of Touchon? If you remember, originally it would have been Carignan when the grapes were first planted, Carignan grapes. We then introduced Grenache with the rise of the sweet wines, the fortified reef stouts. And then in the 80s, the powers that be in Fitou decided that they wanted to improve the quality of Fitou. So we're in the Fitou appellation. Up until about the 80s, it was just made from Carignan and Grenache. And then in the 80s, they decided they wanted to improve it. So they introduced the SYRAH grape variety. And they actually changed the appellation, and they said that you had to have at least 10% SYRAH and up to 40% SYRAH in your vineyards to be able to make Fitou. So that means if you only had Carignan and Grenache in your vineyards, even if they were on the Fitou map, you weren't allowed to make Fitou. You had to plant SYRAH. So the oldest SYRAH vineyards date back to the 80s, and we're lucky enough to have some of those. This one was planted a little bit later by Jean-Marc up here at the Caune. Just look at the soil here. Lovely, lovely soil. And you can see the vines now. The vines are now fully grown, and the last things left to do are just to cut the shoots a bit more. The shoots that are sprawling out. So Jean-Marc will be coming out with his beheading machine on the tractor. And then probably just one last protecting spray of sulphur. And then that's it, up to the harvest. So now we're just waiting for the grapes. So see here, lovely SYRAH grapes. Don't forget, any questions, please put them on the bottom of the screen. And I've got something very exciting to show you down here. So just look at that view and the sun. And you know, look at that. I'm very excited today because we're actually going to the beach this afternoon. Woo. So SYRAH, and you can see here it's quite wind battered. Here's a leaf. It's lost a bit of the lobe through the wind. Some more grapes here, but all looking good. It's actually quite a small yield up here this year, so a smaller yield than we're used to. And then let's look at a classic SYRAH leaf. So we have got the 5 lobes, not as marked as in the Carignan, and a little bit embossed. For me, this leaf is between the Grenache and the Carignan, so SYRAH really falls in between. If you flatten it out, it's almost round. It's quite veins on the top, and turn it over and you've just got small hairs on the back. But let's have a look in here at some of the grapes. So some grapes here. I'm trying to see if they're going to ripen. Where are we? Ah, look. Woo! Can you see? So you may be the first people to see this year. These are the first grapes. Can you see they're starting to change colour? So this is called veraison. Veraison, and that is actually when the grapes start to change colour. So you can see here, they're just starting, some of them starting to turn. And that means, really, it's the countdown to the harvest now. So, oh, there's another one there. See, just one turned colour. The countdown to the harvest. What they say is in mid-veraison, so when half the grapes have turned black, the harvest is only 40 days away. So I'm just looking, so there's still lots of green ones, so it's just really the occasional bunch. So we're nowhere near half veraison, but this should go really quickly now. More green grapes. Where are those other bunch here? So just a couple, really just a couple of grapes turning. So harvest, countdown to harvest. So that makes us think we need to get into the winery. We need to start cleaning it up, getting ready to bring the grapes in. So harvest, we'll probably start the whites just about about the 24th, the week of the 23rd of August. So a week earlier than last year. So this harvest is going to be a little bit early. So yeah, so end of August, the week of the 23rd. It's probably a week to 10 days earlier than last year. So it is always exciting. I'm just looking at the comments now, Rob, from White Castle in Abergavenny. It's so exciting when the grapes start to turn colour. That's when you start panicking that you are actually going to be harvesting in about 4 or 5 weeks time. Let's take a quick look at your questions. So, this is a message from a special lady. Caune, great to see you here, and thanks for all of your messages over the past 10 days. You've been an amazing help. And Lady Littler says, can you describe the smells around you? So the smells, yeah, it smells, there's actually wild fennel that grows, and you can actually smell that fennel. And as you walk along, you get the smell of the heat and the soil, you see here? So you sort of get that dusty, hot Mediterranean, and there's a lovely gentle breeze here. So this sounds a bit silly, but it actually smells green. It smells lovely and green from all these fresh leaves that are around us. And then with the fennel, you get the aromas of the fennel, of the soil, basically everything that makes up the terroir. So lovely aromas this morning, and it's really starting to get hot now. Thanks for that, Lady Littler, and a big kiss to you up there in Liverpool. Thank you so much. And one from Dan. Hi Dan, do the ripening grapes need direct sunlight or be protected from the sun by the canopy? Here, see Julie, we haven't forgotten how to say terroir. So here in the south of France, it can get really hot now. So we have to make sure that the grapes are actually protected as well from the sun, because otherwise they can get burnt. They can get burnt as well. We have one last protection we're going to do with sulphur, and if you get it wrong and the grapes are exposed to the sunlight, it can actually burn. When I say get it wrong, like if you put a bit much on, or you do it when it's going to be really hot in the afternoon, it can actually burn the leaves, and it can also burn the grapes too. So you want, I mean, this is like perfect canopy management by Jean-Marc here, because the bunches are there. See one here. Some of them are exposed, but they are mainly hidden by the leaves. So you don't want them too exposed. You can see here just peeking out. There we go, just peeking out. So look, one last question. So here's Kate. Hi Kate. Why is the yield down? Well, it's one of those questions. There's no easy answer to that. It looks like this is going to be about 2/3 of what we harvested last year. And absolutely no particular reason that we can put our fingers on to actually say why that yield is down this year. It's just nature. This is just the fun of making wine. You never get exactly the same yield, you never get the same amount of grapes year on year from the same vineyard, and for no particular reason. I mean, maybe last year this did have quite a high yield, but when we say high yield, this is Caune, so a high yield down here is still only about 25 to 30 hectolitres per hectare, so it's really, really low. And perhaps this year we're going to get perhaps about 20 hectolitres per hectare, so we're still talking very small volumes. As you can see, we're like up above on the plain here, so we're on the hillside. The soils are really poor, so the vines have to work really hard to produce grapes. So no particular reason, we didn't have any particular problems on the grapes, just a smaller yield, but hopefully that quality, the quality is going to be fantastic. It is low, they're very, very small yields. That's what Domaine Jones is all about. So this vineyard, in actual fact, I mentioned that we planted SYRAH because we had to put it into the Fitu appellation. That we planted, that came in the 80s. This vineyard is actually classified as Fitu, so it is a Fitu vineyard that is on the Fitu map that was created in 1942. But we actually decided to declassify this wine because we love the SYRAH grape variety and we really like 100% SYRAH. But if you make 100% SYRAH, you cannot call it Fitu. So we actually declassify it when it comes in to the winery and when we harvest it. So we don't declare it as Fitu, we just declare it as a table wine or a Vin de France. And that means that we can make 100% SYRAH, which would not be allowed within the Fitu appellation, even though this is a Fitu vineyard. Just coming up here, have a look. Yeah, so I was just going to try and find here. Can you see? Just starting there. And I had a look back at the videos on YouTube. You can actually have a look back I came here on the 30th of April, which was my birthday. That was the last time. If you look how small the vines are then and how much they've grown over the past couple of months. So all of the videos are on YouTube. If you look at Domaine Jones on YouTube, you can catch up on those. So I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining in my ramble, and it's been wonderful to show you the SYRAH grape variety up here, and probably one of the most amazing views across the valley of Caune and Passiol. I'll see you on Thursday. So Thursday morning is the next ramble, and on Friday we will be doing the Grenache Gris on the rock in the evening. So Grenache Gris, I'm back on the rock with Jean-Marc on Friday evening. I'm trying to get hold of Roger. So Roger, I can't wait to get back into his allotment and see how his vegetables are doing. So Roger, it's either going to be Thursday, or if not, I may try and nab him tomorrow morning on Wednesday. So I'll let you know. Just watch this space. And here's the Nikki, little one for you, the electric fence that's on here. And you can see, just to finish here, these trees here, they were burnt down in the fire in 2016. You see these dead trees here. The fire actually came up to this vineyard, literally licked the edge of the vineyard. But vines are a great fire break, so it actually stopped the fire. This vineyard stopped the fire, the wildfire we had in 2016. So that's it, enough rambling from me. Thanks everybody for joining. I'm going to go and find my brioche and eat cake, and I hope you have a wonderful 14th of July. Let's finish with a few more fireworks and the question. So the question today, but why do I always forget the question? The question today is the first person to write up on the screen with the correct spelling the name of this vineyard. So for a sachet of wild herbs, rosemary, first person to come up with the name of this vineyard spelt correctly will get a sachet of wild herbs. Bon Bastille, thanks Julie, thanks for the fireworks Adam, thanks Vanessa. La Caune, well done Karen, fantastic. Lady Littler, La Caune means a cave in the local language. So I'll have to get my brioche, and I'll see you on Thursday morning. See you Thursday. Bye.